find the equation, and it wants me to round to the nearest 10. So that means solve, and if it's a crazy decimal, round it, right? All right, so here's my equation. I did the first part. So second part is to solve that. So how would I solve for x?
150 divided by 75.
Okay, so when I have it set up like this is also something you learned in 6th grade. This is called a one-step equation. Okay, I can solve for x. So this is what I'm solving for, right? So what I would divide. All right, so I divide. How would you read this problem?
75 divided by 150.
75 divided by 150. I had a lot of questions last period that said, well, how do you know which one to put inside and which one to put on the outside?
The top always goes inside.
Your first number is always inside the house. Okay? So, and I can write it as I read it. 75 came first, so I wrote 75. Well, then that's my division symbol, right? Which means I would write my division symbol. And then my last one is on the outside. Okay, can 150 go into 75? No, so I put a 0, and then what? Add a decimal. And now I can do that problem. All right, let's think. That's $1.50, and I have $7.50. How many times do you think? Just guess. How many times do you think 150 could go into 75?
3.
Okay. You'll think only 3?
No, 5. 5. It's 5.
Yes, it's 5. Okay, I'm just trying to save y'all some extra work on the side. All right, now what was it asking us for in the question?
What is the percent?
What percent? Is that a percent?
Yes.
No.
Okay, when I turn a decimal into a percent, I move it to the right 2 times and add a percent sign. So that would give me,
50.
so my second part is 50%.
So 150 equal x.
You could put that. Yes. Okay. It's one of those, you're just going to have to make sure you plug it in. Now, if given a percent, it must be turned into a decimal before solving. Do I have a percent here? Yes. Okay, so 60%, we do the opposite of what we did here, too, right? We moved it right, so what do we do with this one? Move it left, which would make it 0.6. Because 0.60 is the same thing as 0.6, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a percent. We know that that's going to go for the place of x, right? All right, so I have 84 is 60% of what number? So it's saying of what number? That means what am I not going to have? I'm not going to have the total. Okay? So I'm putting a parentheses just around that to make it a little bit prettier. All right, so that makes 84 my what?
Part.
Part. Because 84 is my part. Okay, so can I solve that now? Remember, I'm going to go ahead and box that in because that's my equation. I'm going to rewrite it over here just for solving purposes. If it's like this and like this, what did I do to solve? Divide. How do I know to divide?
Because 6 can go evenly into 84.
Well, if it's set up like this means I'm multiplying 0.6 times something to get to 84, right? So if I'm missing what I'm multiplying by, that just means I do the opposite of multiplying, which is dividing. So I do 84 divided by 0.6.
84 goes inside.
84 is on the inside. 0.6 is on the outside. You can't have a decimal, so what do? Move it over. Okay, but this one didn't have a decimal.
Add one.
I add one. Where would a decimal go after a whole number?
Middle.
Okay, at the end, so I move it over this way. But what would I put there? A 0. So I have 840 divided by 6.
Well.
Okay, can 6 go into 8?
Yes, one time.
One time. Can 6 go into 24?
130. 130.
6 can go into 24 130 times?
4 times.
4 times. Thank you. Y'all don't get ahead. Okay, what do I do with this 0?
Drop it down.
No,
You drop it up.
I bring it up. If I zeroed out right here, that means this next number I can just bring up if it's a 0. A lot of people will bring that down and be like, oh, well, I have zeros, I'm done.
No, you
But
gotta add
14 times 6 would not give me 840. Give me 84, but not 840. So that 0 is very, very important. So my whole is what? 140. Can I look back and see if it made sense? Okay, because it's saying 60% of 140 is 84. Well, what is half of 140? 70. So 70 would be 50% because that's what half is, right? So would that make sense for 84, which is a little bit more than 70, to be 60%?
Yes.
Yes. Y'all aren't thinking. Y'all totally blanked out there. Okay. So I'm just drawing these lines to make sure we stay on the sides we need to. So what number is right there? It's asking for what? Is. What is the is? The part. So which one am I not going to have? Okay, so I can just rewrite it like that. All right. Do I have a percent? What do I have to do to my percent first? Okay. So if I move the decimal over twice, that makes it what?
Oh, it says 0.65.
0.65. So I have 0.65. Okay. So of 98 would be my whole, right?
No.
Mm-hmm. Of is my whole. So what would I do to solve that?
Divide.
Nope.
Multiply.
Multiply. That's a basic multiplication problem. It's saying this times this equals what? All right. So I do 98 times 65. So 8 times 5?
40.
40. Carry my 4. 9 times 5?
49.
Okay, that's 45 plus 4 would give me 49. Okay, 8 times 6 is?
48.
Carry my 4. 9 times 6 is? 54 plus 4?
63.
Okay, so this was my equation. Now, okay, can't forget my decimal. I had how many decimal places? 2, so I move it over, which means my part was equal to what? 63.7.
So P equals
63.7. Okay. This one, really quick. I know there's one right here. How do I make that a decimal? Because we had similar issues and people were like, oh, well, or similar problems with this issue. Well, it's already a decimal, so I just take the percent sign away. Is that accurate? No.
You still gotta move it over.
If it has a percent, I still have to move it over. So that becomes 0.004.
But it still be 4 because you don't have to have 0.
When I multiply, yes. Okay, I want y'all to try those 3 on your own real fast. Okay? Did I say you better get them right?
No.
What did I say?
Yeah, try.
Try. So if we're trying, we're doing all the steps and working hard. Yes.
So it says like on these, so it says 30% of 72. So wouldn't 72 be whole?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How do we know which way to move the decimal?
If it has a percent, you move it left. Because if you have a percent, you're trying to make it a decimal, move it away from the percent sign, the opposite direction, running away from the percent. If you're trying to make a decimal a percent, you want to be a percent, so you go towards the percent sign.
Yeah.
Y'all are work. Okay, they're all attempting 3 problems. Those 3.
Easy.
This truck desk is off station.
Okay, get to work, it don't matter. It does not matter, bless you. Get to work, get to work. Play hard.
No, they're really.
No.
I'm gonna try to figure it out, let's see.
It's pretty good.
Hey, Will. What is this?
So B equals part, X equals per
Slow
percent
down. P is what?
part.
Part? Okay. And then X is percent
Whole.
whole. Okay. So you're dividing?
No, you're multiplying on that one. Because you gotta find the part on that one. So
So you multiply.
alright, so like this one, you would find that because it's is. But if it's you got multiply.
Okay. Of these.
Yes.
Oh, it's actually dry remember.
It is. Hey. ¿Me entiendes, Lloret? ¿Me entiendes? Dude, don't slacking.
Okay, how many of you still need an extra minute?
Me, so, Mr. Rhodes, the means to multiply the.
Okay, ignore that. That was kind of to reiterate.
Okay, that's what you coached me up on.
Okay, it's kind of to reiterate kind of what we learned yesterday. What you really need to make sure you pay attention is the of is the whole, the P is the part, X is the percent.
Did you write that down?
On number F, how would we set
Did you get that?
Just try it. Just try it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it'd be point and whole.
It doesn't give you a percent, right?
Okay, so ¿qué vamos a hacer? Let's see, what is that? Number B, letter B. Ahí lo tiene la noche. Look, you gotta pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
How do we solve it?
okay.
The same way you solved every other problem, right?
No, but F, they don't have.
Is. So is means to.
Woo, sorry.
Right, good. So is means to multiply.
No.
Of means to multiply.
So
No, ignore that rule right now.
Okay.
That was for primarily how we saw it yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
Today we're setting up an equation. That is our main focus, is to be able to set it up. So we need to know. Can I start going over it, or are y'all gonna get mad?
No.
Okay.
Like no.
Well, we did 3 of each kind. I wanted them to try it, and I have some that if they're not done trying, they will get angry.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says determine 30%. So X is my percent. But what we put here is if given a percent, it must be turned into a decimal before solving. All right. So what is 30% as a
By
decimal?
the way, I missed you yesterday.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
thanks.
You were sick.
That's all right.
Is that mine? Is this where's
You
my
can
notes?
totally take it.
I'll go make.
I just
copies.
haven't made copies yet.
I'll go make them quick.
Okay. So percent was 3. Do I have a total? Yes, because of is 72. Remember, I just put parentheses around it to kind of make it prettier. So what do I have to do there? I just multiply. 72 times 0.3.
Could you do 30?
216.
Could I do what?
0.30.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be the same thing. I have 1 decimal. If you did 0.30, you would have 2. Okay?
21.6.
So your part is 21.6.
That was
Okay? So here, I helped you make it a decimal. So we know that where's the pen? 0.004 is my X. So this is of 82.1. Where would that go?
That's the whole.
Okay, so I'm multiplying it by 82.1. Again, this is just a multiplication problem, right? So I have 82.1. How would I set that up? Multiply it by what?
0.
But somebody said, can I just multiply it by 4?
You gotta add your decimals back.
Got to add my decimals back. How many decimal places did I have? I have 3 here. I have 1 here.
Oh.
Okay. Now, I had somebody last class period be like, but up there it says to round to the nearest tenth, so it would just be 0.3. If you were paying attention, that's fine. If you weren't, I'm not going to be that picky. I would rather you be more exact than round incorrectly. Okay, so either one.
So which one would be the
Okay, well, think about this. What percent? That tells me I do not have what?
whole?
I don't have a percent. I'm missing the X. Okay, of 200. Of is the what? No,
The whole.
it's the whole. So I have 200 X because I'm missing my percent. So is 230. So if my part is bigger than my total, what does that tell me about my percentage? It's going to be greater than what?
200?
No.
You went through 230?
If you have if I have a pizza, a whole pizza, I haven't eaten any of it, what percentage of the pizza do I have?
100?
100%. So if I have more than the whole, is my percent going to be greater than 100?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so once again, I just divide by 200. Divide by 200. So which one's going on the inside? 230 divided by 200. Can 200 go into 230?
Just be 1, and then you have 2 left.
I have how much left over?
30.
Okay. Can I keep going?
Yes.
Yes. By doing what?
Put a 0.
Decimal.
Drop a 0.
Drop a 0. Okay. Can 200 go into 300?
1 time.
1 time.
It's gonna keep.
No, it's not.
No.
It's gonna.
How many times can 200 go into 1,000? 5 times. Okay. So it wanted a percent, right? How do I turn 1.15 into a percent? Move the decimal. If I want to be a percent, I move it towards the percent sign. So it is 115. I heard 100. 115%.
So when it's asking for the percent, is that when you divide?
Yes, you will divide if it's asking for the percent or the whole. Okay? The part, when you don't have the part, is when you're going to be able to multiply. Okay? Okay. Question so far? No? All right.
Got a question.
What?
But it's on the back. It's about the wording.
Okay.
Why is it my last name?
I don't know. Okay.
There is one.
Logan bought 6 new books for his collection. This increased his collection by 12%. I have a percent, right? What is that as a decimal? Remember, I move it away from the decimal. So 0.12. Okay, how many books does he have now? So if he bought 6 books, okay, I'm trying to figure out, if it increased it by 12, I need to know what 12% of 6 was, right? Or what 6 is 12% of what. So 6 was my part. All right, I don't know how many books he has. That's what I'm trying to figure out first, right? So here is my percentage times my total. So how do I solve that? Divide. Divide by 0.12. Divide by 0.12. So 6 divided by 0.12. If I have a decimal on the outside, what do I have to do? Okay, so if I move that one over, what do I have to do to the inside? Move it over. So I have 600 divided by 12. Okay, can 12 go into 60?
Yes.
How many? 5 times. What do I do with the 0? No.
So we
Bring it up.
Bring it up.
50.
50.
W equals 50.
Okay, so is 50 my answer?
Yes.
No.
What?
Did it ask how many books he had?
No.
No, but that's what I found. This is how many he had. What does it want to know now? How many does he have now? So this is how many he bought. This was how many he had. So what would I do with those two numbers? Add them.
56.
50 plus 6.
So W equals 56.
No, because my W did equal 50. Because I had to find my whole before I could find what it really wanted from me. You remember word problems a lot of the times have 2 steps to it. Okay, Hoffman's Cake Cottage sold 160 cupcakes on Thursday. If 65% of these were sold in the morning. Okay, I have a percent. If I see a percent, what do I do first?
Change it to.
Make it a decimal.
Wait, so. What was the symbol to?
It's still up there. Connor, I got it. Okay, let me get through this next one and I'll answer your question when I'm done, okay? All right. So if 65% of these were sold in the morning, how many were sold in the afternoon? So obviously I have to find what 65% of 160 is first, right?
160 be your whole.
Because that's my total. So if I have P equals X times W, I know my 160 is going to go here. I have my percent. I'm trying to find the part that was sold in the morning, right? So I get to just multiply 160 times 0.65. So I have 0 times 5. What's 5 times 6? 30. Carry my 3. 5 times 1 plus 3. 5 plus 3. 8. Okay. Done with my 5. Put a 0. So 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 6 is 36. Carry my 3. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus 3 is 9.
It'd be 10,200.
Okay. I have how many decimal places? 1, 2. So move over 1, 2.
104.
Okay. So what was 104 representing?
How many were sold in the morning?
How many were sold in the morning? What is it asking me to find? How many were in the afternoon? So how do I find how many were in the afternoon?
140.
Where'd you get 140?
104 minus 56.
Okay, so I take my total. That's how many were sold all day. I subtract by how many were sold in the morning. And I get what? 56. So that is my answer.
Boom. No, we only have.
Okay? Not very many.